But the idea that a law-abiding citizen has to fear the police is a terrible and destructive lie. Let's get some perspective.
Commander Mike Sohn.
The first thing is wait until all the facts and the investigation is out and completed. Because people need to remember that video doesn't always tell the whole story.
Here's an example from the San Jose State campus. Seeing this video without any backstory, one could easily formulate the opinion that the police involvement in the situation is unjust, and an innocent man is injured here for no apparent reason. Watch closely.
Taser, taser, taser.
That's okay. It's okay.
Get on the ground. Shoot him!
However, after taking a second glance back at the video, the man can easily be seen pulling a knife on the cops and disobeying their orders to stand down.
Okay.
Get on the ground. Shoot him!
Put your career at risk if 30 seconds of smartphone video taken out of context can destroy it. Here's the truth. Police aren't afraid of walking the streets or being shot by random criminals. They're afraid of being involved in an incident that would label them forever as trigger-happy racists.
Remind yourself that there's a reason why they're doing it in a specific way.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example that kind of illustrates
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get complaints from people that we pull over on a traffic stop. And sometimes the driver will call and complain that when the officer pulled them over, they had to lean out their car window really far and kind of look behind because the officer was standing way behind where the window opening was. And they find that to be like an inconvenience, that they had to turn around in their seat, undo their seatbelt, and kind of look backwards. And the reason that is officers realize that in situations where they've walked right up to the window and the driver was either like an escaped felon or maybe just committed some type of serious crime, that their intent was shooting the officer as soon as he approached and appeared in the window.
Wow.
So as an officer safety situation, the officer stands back further behind the window, trying to reduce the chance of them, coming into harm's way if that's what.
As Commander Sohn stated, policemen abide by specific methods to protect themselves and others. Why does the media make law enforcement officers out to be our enemies?
They made the ultimate sacrifice to protect people of this city. Some they did not and would not ever know.
In 2018, 144 police officers were killed in the line of duty.
Safety. The two officers were responding to a 911 hang-up call. When they arrived at the address, they were ambushed.
In Hattiesburg, Mississippi tonight, a heavy sadness. 2 police officers killed in the line of duty.
Investigators say Officer Sean Tudor was conducting a follow-up investigation at a motel in Mobile when he was gunned down by a suspect.
12 officers were shot, 5 killed, 7 wounded.
Next, we interviewed Sergeant Mike Karpinski.
People kind of forget that our hands are also tied. Like we can't, after, oh, they accuse this or accuse, or even on where we're not involved, like we're being blamed for something, like, we can't just go out and put fact or just release stuff to the media, because part of our job is we have to protect all parties. The victim, number one, and also the suspect, defendant, whatever, we also have to protect their rights. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you only get that one-sided as well, and our hands are tied.
We asked both officers whether the media had affected how new officers are being trained today.
Or not?
It's not so much that we instruct them on how to act a certain way. Granted, we always remind officers and anybody that we train, that always be professional and always treat every situation like there is somebody recording you. Mm-hmm. And that's whether it's a private citizen or the media, not specific to the press or anything like that. But I think the biggest thing is when nowadays what we're seeing is people are getting quick to form judgments before the investigation is actually completed.
Right.
And when that information, or when people allegedly have an opinion on what they think happened, and that gets repeated throughout the country through social media, that works against law enforcement, because as we saw in the Ferguson, Missouri situation,
exactly.
It turned out that a lot of the things that were going around and being publicized were not actually true. But by that time, so many people's opinions had already been swayed.
And, oh, crime statistics are down, don't buy into that. It's because there's no more proactive, everything's reactive.
Yeah.
And, and it's not how it should be. And if you follow the rules, which, again, 99.999% of police officers do, okay? And even the ones that don't, it's because probably their lack of training.
Mm-hmm.
So we always look at things too, and we always, after we're done doing like a big incident, we look at it and we critique it. What could we have done better? We do it all the time.
Yeah.
But you never say that to me. We really do. We're a profession, and I mean, our department, just about every other department does the same thing. They go back and look, this is what we did right. What did we do wrong here? And we try and fix it, and we move on. It's constantly changing.
No profession works harder to correct its mistakes. You can mark social progress by the improvements made by police departments over the last 50 years. Today, police are more professional, better educated, and better trained than at any time in their history.
As far as here I'm going to run a scenario by you.
Okay.
Fatal accident involving brand new 16-year-old driver. His passenger, who was his girlfriend, gets killed. I have to do the interview, let's say. We're just going to say this, so you can see where I'm going here. And one of the questions came up was party DUI. And my response was, we have no indication that, that this was a DUI accident, which means driving under influence. Well, in the paper the next day, the headlines, fatal accident, and right below it, alcohol may have been involved. Is the reporter lying? Not really. May have been involved, but if you're reading that, it catches your. I get it. It's catching what the fatal accident should call you. But how about putting yourself in that family, both those families' positions that changed those kids' lives forever, and reading that, and it's someone reads it, they move on, and they just assume from there on that kid was, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
Let's get some perspective. In 2014, 990 people were killed in police use of force incidents. Does that sound like a lot? Did you know that according to a Johns Hopkins study, that same year medical errors killed 250,000 people? Yet activists aren't marching in the streets demanding that the medical profession be reformed.
You can't you can't just watch one network. One network is totally liberal. There's no middle ground network. A center aisle. Here's what happened today, and then you formulate your own opinion or do some research on it yourself, which is so much easier now than when I was your age. There was no internet, nothing. You had to go to the library if you wanted to research something. Well, now everything's right at your fingertips. So I would love just immediate, here's what happened on this day, and then you start formulating your own opinion. The threat of, I'm putting this on social media, okay, go ahead. I have nothing to hide. I did nothing wrong. And, shame on you, because you'd be better off with radio with this face than you are in, video. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's a tough job. Somehow we did become the scapegoat of society. And I don't know why. But also I kind of get it. Like for us, let's say you're driving to work, you have a flat tire, right? And let's say you're running late. It might be your first day and you could lose your job. I pull up and and I've done this a million times, change someone's flat tire. Okay, how I looked at it just helped you, but one, it's the worst part of your day. And who are you associating that with? It just comes with it. And we understand that.
When the community trusts the police department and the police department trusts the community, it's always a stronger,
great relationship.
Right.
When police feel support from their community based on positive feedback and affirming actions, their self-efficacy and job investment both increase.